There are enormous pillars that goes from the base of the Khafre pyramid and goes underneath for approximately 1.2 kilometers. And at the end of these pillars there are huge chambers, huge structures. They have the shape of a cube of approximately 80 meters of dimension. Inside the Khafre pyramid we found 5 structures that can be like in the Cheops pyramid.
Did you find anything under the Sphinx?
We have one pillar, and we have one pillar that goes underneath a lot. We have a chamber that is located at the end of the scan. Between the surface and the bottom we have another intermediate chamber.
An American physicist, Louis Alvarez, applied muon technology to the Khafre pyramid, but with any results also because at that time the technology was at the beginning. CERN, for example, of the University of Tokyo between 2011 and 2013 made other experiments inside the pyramid, particularly in the pyramid of Khafre, and they discovered a possible void at 73 meters over the Belzoni chamber.
We measured the length, the height and the width of the big void, and it's written all on the paper.
But they also used their muon technology, but they couldn't find those.
No, they...
Like the other chambers you found. So I assume if they placed the detectors there, they could find those rooms which you found. Last month, I had the pleasure of joining the Danny Jones podcast with Adam Young to talk about the WasteGAN project and our work at the Petrie Museum. It was a fantastic experience. I'm also thrilled that my Petrie Museum result video has passed 140,000 views, and the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. Thank you for that. If you would like to support the research and the podcast, you will get early access, ad-free viewing, and extra behind the scenes by joining on Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. Now let's get back to the show.
Ah, with your Guinness, you are with your Guinness. In Joe Rogan we are. A cigar you want?
No. I'm not smoking. No. But yeah, it's like a tradition on the show that we are drinking Guinness.
Ah, ok, so vabbè, che dobbiamo fare, ma?
No, io
no.
Just if you want, it's no pressure. But I can...
Maybe some water.
Bring you water.
But I have it.
Okay. You don't need water?
No.
Okay.
Thank
you. So Filippo Biondi and Dr. Armando Mei. Welcome on the show. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, thank you to you for the invitation.
Thank you for the invitation.
I would like to know, how did you start this entire research? You did two huge researches, right, on the Giza Plateau.
Yes.
One was attached to the Khufu
Yes.
pyramid, and the other one was attached to the Khafre pyramid.
Yes.
Could you talk a little bit about the origin of this entire research? How did you start it, and why did you started it with the bigger pyramid?
Yes, it was a period of my life that I was researching a particular technique using radar to extrapolate the vibrations from synthetic aperture radar images. Why I did this? Because in 2018 a very important Italian bridge collapsed and began from there. It was the Morandi Bridge located in Genoa. Collapsed because it was a storm and the entire infrastructure reached its so-called resonance frequency. and then collapsed.
The same thing happened in Japan,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. And so I didn't realize why collapsed. In my interior, I was saying I had to do something in order to prevent this. So I started working a lot in finding a solution to study the so-called resonance frequencies of bridges. To do that, it is a very expensive task because you have to go on the bridge, on the infrastructure, install so-called in situ measurement facilities, sensors, and so was a bit a hard task. This. So I realized that yes, but we have satellites. Satellites produces radar images that are synthesized in the X band, that is approximately 10 gigahertz. Yes, of course, because the orbital component of the image is focused using the Doppler frequencies. And the Doppler frequencies, it means that Doppler at 10 gigahertz, considering that the satellites flies at 7 kilometers per second, so a very high velocity, the Doppler frequencies recast inside the acoustic range.
Just to get the listeners familiar with the Doppler effect, it's like when there is an ambulance car going on the street with a certain speed, and the pitch or the frequency of the siren is changing because it's moving.
Of the motion, yes. When we listen the ambulance that approaches us, you have the frequencies higher. Then it passes through the zero Doppler, and you listen the original frequency, and then when it's going back, the frequencies are lower. The original frequencies are lower. So that's the Doppler effect. The Doppler effect, we have Doppler effects in a radar, so we found a solution in order to transform each pixel composing the measurements of the bridges into a so-called measurement point, a point of measurement of vibrations. So that was very nice. I published the paper in 2019, I think. I don't remember, but I think it's 2019. You can find it on the website, on the Remote Sensing Journal, peer-reviewed. So infrastructure monitoring by synthetic aperture radar.
So you could measure the resonance of the bridge from the satellites.
Yes. A modal analysis, complete modal analysis from space. And a lot of companies also started to contacting me because to commercialize this kind of facility here.
Did you patent it?
No, I did not patent this, no. Then once we were able to do this kind of work, I met Corrado Malanga. Corrado Malanga is now the former scientist of our group, the team leader. I met him, and it was a period that he was studying the Khufu pyramid, and he had his own vision that I agree of the purpose of the Cheops pyramid. And I spoke to him, Corrado, hello, I am doing this job, I am with my research group that I was working at that period, we are performing this recipe, let's call it, in order to retrieve the vibrations. Can we do something together, so to measure the resonance principal components of the pyramid? Corrado said yes. We started the project. Then I realized that the acoustic signals are propagating only inside matter, and the more matter is dense, the better is the velocity, and so why not we developed an additional method to perform the so-called tomographic analysis of what there is inside the structures.
Yeah. And what did you find? If I remember correctly, I've seen your research paper, you found like hidden chambers.
Yes.
Yes,
we found hidden chambers inside the Khufu. It was a period...
So it's the biggest pyramid of Giza,
yes.
if someone doesn't know.
Yes. It was a period that Zaki Hawass, that I respect him, with his research group, that is the ScanPyramid project, that is still working today on the pyramids, was fetching the so-called big void.
Mm-hmm.
And in that period, so we concentrate efforts in order to replicate the experiments of Zaki Hawass, and so finding the big void. But we saw that applying our technique, other things rised out. So we found other structures inside. Mm-hmm. First of all, we found for the first time the corridor that belongs between the interior of the chevron into the Grand Gallery. It's approximately 9 meters long corridor. And then we found that at the end of this corridor there is a chamber. And this chamber is an anti-camera that goes upstairs then to the big void. And so we publish this article because we found a lot of things that are written in the article. In 2022, we published it. Was accepted in 2022. So
in which journal was it?
Remote Sensing, MDPI.
Okay, so it's like a technical journal,
yes.
Not an archaeological.
Peer review,
Mm-hmm.
yes, of synthetic aperture radar. What I can do, what I can say, since I met Corrado in 2019, 3 years later we published this controversial, let's say controversial article, because we found a lot of things that were located inside the Khufu pyramid and also below, underneath the pyramid.
Did you use commercial satellites, or how did you get the data?
Yes, at that time I used to collaborate with Italian universities, and data were given to us for free. Were data of Cosmos Skymet, mm-hmm. that is the Italian satellite system, the Italian satellite system managed by the Italian Space Agency.
So how can we imagine this? Like, you have probably several satellite measurements, not just one.
Yes.
How could you create the picture you get from the satellite? Is it a two-dimensional picture? Is it like a depth map, or what's the?
I explain you this because it's the core of my technique. Every picture is two-dimensional. Every picture, because you have a projection of the data collected by the sensor are projected into a measurement system. This projection in radar is slant range azimuth. That's the projection of synthetic aperture radar, and it is absolutely two-dimensional and superficial, with superficial interaction. So you can't penetrate anything. Mm-hmm. Anything. But it was the period of my PhD when I was studying I think 20 years ago, I don't remember, my PhD at the University of L'Aquila and Rome.
So you just don't use a doctor, but you have a PhD also?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. I used to be also professor at University of Strathclyde, but now I resigned to concentrate efforts on the Khafre Pyramid project. So I am, let's say, free free from academic positions.
So by trade you are an electrical engineer and a telecommunication,
Yes.
with the telecommunication specialization.
Yes,
Okay.
and PhD also in telecommunication.
Awesome.
And
Nice.
I have also 2 masters in telecommunication, space law, I would say, space law, and quantum physics.
Nice combination.
At quantum physics, all that. So, where we arrived, 3 years later, we with Corrado we published this controversial paper that today made more than 300,000 downloads from the scientific community. So and now we pass to the Khafre Pyramid project. When we begin the Khafre Pyramid project, when we met Armando Mei. We met Armando Mei that he suggests us to move our work from the Cheops Pyramid into the Khafre Pyramid.
Why?
Oh, it's a long story. Because in 2010 I was speaker at the conference in Dubai on ancient civilizations, together with Graham Hancock, Robert Schoch, Robert Boal, and so on, Andrew Collins. And I presented my theory of the Zeptepi that refers to a mythological time during which the gods lived among humans according to the myth. And it was also according to some text that are described in the Book of Death, for example, or in the text of the pyramids. Very likely during that time the pyramids were built. There are also some papyrus suggesting the possible existence of a long list of sovereigns that ruled over Egypt since 38,000 years ago. So I tried to study this matter, starting from the Orion correlation by Robert Boal. And I have to say that I try to improve the theory, starting from a basic point that, in my opinion, the Giza Plateau is composed not only by the pyramids of the Sphinx, but also of other monuments that belong to a global project. So I went to Giza, I studied on the field, I did different missions on the field in the effort to find the clues that complete the global project. And in my opinion, there are other monuments like the temples beneath the Sphinx, for example, the Tomb of the Birds in the west of the pyramid, the Giza Plateau, and also the ridge in the southeast where actually is the mastaba of Khentkaus, the Queen Khentkaus. That I believe.
Which temples were beneath the Sphinx?
The temple of the Sphinx, the temple of the valley. The two temples that are very close.
I thought underneath.
No, that are very close to the the Sphinx. And so I put together all those pieces, all those monuments that are on the Giza Plateau, and I try to analyze a possible correlation of all those monuments with the celestial vault, applying a special software of astronomical simulation. I work on the precessional cycle and of equinox, and I noted that all those monuments are perfectly aligned with the celestial vault, so with planets and constellations, exactly in 36,400 before Christ. At this point, of course, the second question is who built the pyramids? And in my opinion, the only way to understand what is the purpose of the monuments is to enter in the mind of the builders, of the architects. So I follow a precise pattern of research based on the analysis of phonetic connected to the monuments, the possible connection of the monuments with the tool of the universal language that is the number. I study also the monuments through archetypes or applying models of mathematical geometry. And so, studying the Khafre pyramid, I noted, applying a basic arithmetical model that is the prime factorization, I noted that the dimensions, the sides of the Khafre pyramid, yield as a result the number 137. That is one of the most important number for physicists connecting with the quantum physics. But this number is also the core of the three main laws of physics: electromagnetism, relativity, and quantum physics. So I understood that that number was a code inscribed in the monuments. And at that point, I entered in contact with Filippo and Corrado, because there is also another point, because I noted that beyond the pyramids, there was a deity that is very important for the ancient Egyptian, that is the Thoth, the deity Thoth, that we know is the master of knowledge that was the scribe of the gods, and he was also the deity who transferred the knowledge of science. And for these reasons, I understood that there was an in-depth connection between the Giza Plateau and Thoth. And I also understood that maybe in the Khafre pyramid there were hidden chambers that could be connected with the famous halls of records that are kept all the ancient knowledge of the survivors of the lost civilization that lived on this planet before ours, and is connected also with the text of Khufu, for example. And so we started the detection of the Khafre pyramid, and we found lots of interesting megastructures beneath the pyramid and chambers and jet inside the Khafre pyramid.
Did I understand correctly that the Planck constant is somehow encoded into these monumental structures?
Yes.
How did you, or where did you find these correlations?
Applying the basic model of arithmetic that is based on the prime factorization, and applying the formula of pi. I forgot the term in English, but it's a formula that is able to count how many prime number are before a precise prime number. So according to this formula, I detect the code, and we follow this pattern of research.
Okay. I didn't quite understand that part when you collected the radar images.
Prime counting number. Yes.
Prime counting number.
Yes.
When you collect the data of the radar, basically, if I'm right, it's also using kind of the time of flight to detect the points or the tomography on the surface. But to have it in a two-dimensional picture, it's using the Doppler effect, right? So it's like a combination of counting the time when it's bouncing back, and also the Doppler, basically the frequency shift.
Yes.
But how could you see inside the pyramid?
Yes, that's crucial. Thank you for this question. It's crucial. We do like that. It was when I were I was attending my PhD in collaboration with the National Council of Research, the Italian National Council of Research, CNR, in Bari, in Italy, south of Italy. When my professor, Nicola, let's call him Nicola, told me that I had to do my thesis with him. So we started to work with him in something a bit strange called Doppler sub-aperture analysis. What is this? Radar images are synthesized using the aperture of the orbit, synthetic aperture radar. Aperture, it means that the spatial resolution is proportional to the aperture, according to the Rayleigh formula. I remember that the spatial resolution is a physical parameter measured in meters that it is a minimum distance for which two targets can be detected separately. So the first point to do is to transform a two-dimensional static image into a video, where the duration of the video is the duration of the orbit. So we refocus several times images having less Doppler resolution, but this procedure will allow us to transform a static image full resolution in something having lower resolution but is transformed into a video. And this is the first thing. The second is we know that the focusing procedure uses the so-called stop-and-go approximation. It means that everything on the Earth that we are picturing has to be steady, without motion. But it is not like that. Everything has a motion. And in the radar laws, anything that moves is delocalized from the picture, from the exact position that has to be, is delocalized. And so we have developed an algorithm based on pixel tracking that tracks each pixel of each frame rate of the video, and so we can retrieve the vibrations. The Earth always vibrates. We have noticed that the precision on which we can measure vibrations is extremely sub-millimetric. So it's very high. And so once...
Do you have a limit?
Is the noise, is the signal-to-noise ratio. But because you are using delocalization, so you are using the tracking, it is very robust in terms of noise. I don't know if I am explaining well this. This is crucial. So we have found that the signal-to-noise ratio is very high. So we could go a lot below the millimetric precision, a lot below. Also 1,000, 1 over 1,000, 1 millimeter. Once we had developed this procedure, it was very simple, because the Earth always moves. The Earth moves because of the seismic waves and also the vibration provoked by human activities, the wind, what you want you have. And so we have used these vibrations in order to scan inside. So we are not using the electromagnetic waves, but we are using the interaction of the electromagnetic waves with the Earth that returns information in terms of Doppler centroid anomalies that recast the acoustic telecommunication channel. We use this acoustic telecommunication channel to scan below the Earth, underneath.
So when there are slight movements in the Earth's crust,
Yeah.
it's basically causing a Doppler effect
Absolutely,
in the radio
yes.
wave from the satellite.
That's the crucial motivation of our technique.
And how
The
could you
principle
see
of
that deep?
Yes, the deep is decided by the Doppler band.
Mhm.
I tell you. Deep is we do not measure the deep in terms of meters. Has not sense because it's not light. But are
Depends on
acoustic.
the material.
On the material.
Yeah.
But we are measuring how deep we can go in terms of delay in
Mhm.
seconds, and that's normal delay. Then when we have a model, you can have also the measurement in meters. Okay, so the delay is the maximum delay is approximately calculated by the time of integration. The integration time in azimuth for a spotlight acquisition can be 12 seconds, from 12 seconds to 15 seconds, divided by 4. So you have a generous 3 seconds of acoustic delay to measure the depth. That translated into a distance could be more than 5 kilometers.
How could you have the model from the Great Pyramid? Because
Yes.
it's like a complete. I mean, it's a complex structure.
It's a
it has
complex structure,
different
yes.
type of
And it is-
stones,
and-
chambers.
And they don't have a unique material, but
Yeah.
they are different.
It's not homogeneous.
But
Yeah.
this question is a normal question for all geologists. You know, it's my problem, but also of the geologists.
Yeah.
And so nothing. You have a delay, and you perform the translation from delay into a space measurement, applying an approximation. So you use limestone. Approximately, you have limestone mixed to soil. You have the model. You have the velocity in limestone
Yeah.
mixed to soil, and so we arrived to measure the structure depth on about 1.2 kilometers below.
So if the model is not correct, maybe the dimensions are not the same.
Are
Right?
not the same. No, if it's not
Yeah.
correct, are not the same.
Can
But
it be that it's also
we did also some measurements that from how you say comparison. We knew the exact when we observed the scan of the pyramid. We know exactly the height of the pyramid, and then by comparison we are measuring, all the distance. That's another method to measure the depth of the structures.
okay.
If you have the
relative to the
relative
big
to the
size,
pyramid,
yeah. Okay.
because it is known that distance. Okay.
Is it possible that if you discover a void with a limestone model, it's so insignificantly small if you take a granite model?
But the difference in terms of velocity is a lot. It can be deeper than 1.2 kilometers.
Okay.
Means,
Okay.
no?
Okay. Yeah.
Because the space is more.
Yeah.
The delay is the same. What changes is the space that you measure.
Yeah. And how did you came to this 3D render? I'm just talking about
Yes.
the Khufu
Yes.
first, but how did you build this three-dimensional?
I tell you. We
model?
have measured a lot of, we performed a lot of measurements using different lines, tomographic lines, different synthetic aperture radar images, and different satellites also.
It's like all around the pyramid, or is just from one path?
All around the pyramid.
Okay.
All around the pyramid. And so, having on the table all these tomograms, we started to draw the 3D model to be more comprehensive to people, because we know how to read, like a doctor that reads the X-ray of our body.
Yeah.
But it was important for us to translate this data better for people. And
Like
so
an illustration.
an
to show it.
illustration,
Yeah.
yes. We draw this 3D model that we show everyone. And so...
So it's not AI generated or something, because there were news that it was made with AI or something like that.
What we found? We found a lot of things. What we found, we announced our last discoveries in Malta a week ago and yesterday at the Cosmic Summit. There are enormous pillars that goes from the base of the Khafre pyramid and goes underneath for a lot of distance, approximately 1.2 kilometers. And at the end of these pillars, there are huge chambers, huge structures. We can see that they have the shape of a cube, no?
Yeah.
With of approximately 80 meters of dimension of 80 meters. And then inside the Khafre pyramid, we found 5 structures that can be like a Z that is that we know that is in the Cheops pyramid, that monument that is multi-layer, no? That you have at the center of the pyramid. And then these pillars are the same. We found the same pillars also underneath the Menkaure pyramid, and also
The same pillars.
Yes, there are 8 pillars in the Khafre pyramid and 4 pillars in the Menkaure pyramid.
And no pillars under the
Khufu, it's a bit tricky, because Khufu has interconnected structures underneath. There are the pillars, but in 2022 we did not see very well those pillars, so we did not report those pillars.
Do you know why you didn't see them?
Yes, because when you have interconnected structures, the sound is not so clear. So there we have to study again more. We have to study more the Khufu pyramid, because we want to isolate the signal that belongs to the pillars and the signal that are of the ramps that they are interconnecting the Khufu pyramid through with the Khafre pyramid. Mm-hmm. There are ramps that goes underneath.
So they are connected underground?
Everything is connected underground.
Okay. Because
you have a network that it is also difficult for us to
Yeah, I've been there and I've seen that there are channels and tunnels everywhere under the Giza Plateau.
Yes.
It's like a massive complex. Probably half of it's not even discovered or excavated yet.
And here we coined the so-called tip of the iceberg. The pyramids are only the tip of the iceberg. This is my personal opinion, because observing the scans that shows things underneath, we can think that the pyramids are only the smallest part visible from the surface. It's very small with respect of things that are located underneath.
Are these pillars has to be solid or can be hollow, like empty in the inside?
Thank you for this question. The tomograms, observing the tomograms, we are sure that they have a regular pattern that can recall something as a spiral stairs.
Yeah.
Inside each pillar, there is something with a very strong signal, so very dense, and we call it a core that goes vertically from the top to the bottom. Inside, they can be hollow, yes, but we are sure that the longitudinal axis of the pillars,
Yeah.
there is a core, very dense in terms of material density, matter density.
How would the picture change when the pillars would be solid versus empty
Yes,
or hollow?
yes.
What
the
difference
picture,
would we see?
yes, the picture will change because something that is not hollow. So let's imagine like a geometric figure, like a cylinder, a cylindrical pillar, not hollow. So with full of material,
Solid.
solid. Is different with respect the images that we have, because observing these images, we are confident that inside are hollow. Because your question is, how can you say this? Because in the tomograms we should see something that with a uniform color. I don't know if I'm explaining.
Yeah.
Not something that inside you see other things, no?
Yeah. So the color represents the delay.
The color represents the energy of the returned signal, and the position, the vertical position is the delay.
Yeah, and this, if there is a different material or it's like different consistency of materials,
you see it
then
brighter with respect to materials that are less dense. You see it more, less bright.
Yeah. Did you have any reference scans, like to test known structures?
Yes, we have tested a lot of structures. We started the experiments in laboratory. The laboratory is my garage. And we simulated radar signals. We simulated vibrations, and we have represented things that were below, underneath the table of the experiments. So we put objects below the table, and we were representing the objects, just looking things from the top of the table.
Can you send me pictures so I can insert this into the?
Yes.
It would be nice.
Yes. And then once we realized that the technique was working, we moved into the space and we made a lot of experiments on mines, tunnels, the physics laboratory that is located in Italy under the mountain called Gran Sasso. The Gran Sasso, inside the Gran Sasso there is a huge laboratory, physics laboratory, where they study the neutrinos. And so we have depicted the structure, yes, the internal structure of this laboratory. That was very exciting.
Can you see through? Well, probably it's not an accurate question, but can you see through water?
Okay, that's very important. At the moment, no, but I am working also on this task. I don't know if I will be successful, because water is a bit tricky, because the noise, the superficial noise of water has a statistical behavior that it is a bit complicated. It's not just Gaussian. It is something that I have to realize first, which kind of statistical behavior, the model of the statistical behavior of the waves that are
Captured.
Yes, that they are captured from the surface. So it's a bit difficult, but I am working on that.
Did you scan the Osiris shaft?
We scanned the Osiris shaft, and I forgot to tell you. Yes, we scanned the Osiris shaft, and we found high correlation with respect to the ground truth.
Because it has a huge water table on the bottom.
Yes, we found also the water table. Yesterday I spoke about the water table. We found the water table. There is probably because if you, in any measurement that you make, if you don't go in situ to see if you are right, that your measurements are compliant to your expectation, you will never know the truth.
If I remember correctly from your presentation, you also have seen pillars or more structures under the Osiris shaft.
Absolutely, yes.
But how could you see those if there is a water table?
The water table gives you only an attenuation of the energy, and enough.
Okay.
But you continue to see, because the water table does not affect your measurements.
So it's not degrading till the noise ratio
can
level?
degrade the energy.
Okay.
No, the water table is there. Don't worry. You can measure things
Until it's downgraded till the signal noise ratio.
Yes.
Because then you have just noise probably which you cannot distinguish.
The water table could also make your measurements better.
Amplify it?
Amplify, I don't know. I don't think.
Filter it.
Because
okay.
water is a filter. Yes, I agree with you. Amplify, no, because they perform an attenuation of the energy that you are receiving on the top, from the top.
Mm-hmm.
But they will do as a filter. The water will apply a filter on your image.
Like a mechanical filter, basically, in terms of the vibrations.
Yes.
And
yes.
you can reflect this, or it will be reflected in the signal you capture, I suppose.
I will send to you my scans, and you will see that the water table will give you an attenuation of the signal. And so we are able also to see the exact position of where the water table begins. And we see that the structures are going below the water table. We don't know why. We don't know why.
Is this technology used today somewhere else? Or it's your proprietary technology which
for the moment is mine.
Okay.
If somebody is... we are collaborating with Stanford University in the person of Professor Howard Zepker, who is former professor at the University of Stanford, and probably he is working on replicating the experiments. That for me is good, in my personal opinion.
Okay, so basically it's a software, right?
Basically, it's made. You have to apply mathematics, signal processing procedure on data, and to do this you need a software. You have to develop your software, your own software.
I know that, yeah.
Because if you know the mathematics that is inside this procedure, it is very simple to reproduce it.
Exactly. I'm doing the same with the vases.
Yes,
basically. Yeah.
You know better than me.
What's the next step?
CUDA. GPU.
No, I mean, what's the next step in terms of measurements?
Yes, was something.
But if you brought it up, are you using like a GPU?
I am using CPU because I am not able to program in CUDA. It's my limitation.
But
I have to. It will be better to translate the code into using GPUs.
Are you using Matlab or Python?
Matlab.
Matlab.
Only Matlab.
If you switch to Python,
Yeah.
and if you use the PyTorch,
PyTorch
it's basically for neural
wonderful.
networks.
PyTorch is wonderful. Yes.
And you can easily transfer every matrix to CUDA cores,
Yeah.
and it's
Maybe we will speak
okay.
about this.
I can recommend PyTorch
because in Matlab GPU array does not work.
Yeah, it's
No.
not really
No.
not really CUDA compatible. No, but I did use PyTorch for neural networks and other stuff, and it's amazing.
Okay, thank you.
So what's the next step in terms of research? Like, did you scan other pyramids as well, like the Lahun or
No,
Step Pyramid?
we are receiving a lot of requests in terms of this kind of things, but the important thing to say is this: the Khafre pyramid project has to concentrate energy on this project. So this project probably will finish in 2026, approximately in June, when we are doing the last conference in Verona, and then in that time we announce the end of the project. So we will give the other discoveries, of course, but we will announce the end of the project. Then, after we finish it, we will finish or we have finished the project on Giza, we move to other sites. Maybe Armando can give us a help in find other nice sites.
Yes, of course, there are lots of monuments that are really interesting all around the world.
Hawara?
Also, but in South America, for example, Teotihuacan is a very interesting site, but also in Peru, Sacsayhuamán and Machu Picchu. We already had received an invitation to move to Machu Picchu from a group of research that is working on the field, because they found a labyrinth beneath the city. They are looking for the entrance. Some of them they already found, but are sealed. So they believe that there are other entrances. And they ask us to support the group with the satellite. So I believe that when we finished our job at Giza, we will move very likely towards South America, and also toward the pyramids in China.
Also
because our team leader is interested to know more about the pyramids that were built in China.
There are also the Bosnian pyramids where there is Sam and Christina Redi, that they are good, nice, very nice.
But I believe that there are other two sites that are really interesting and partially connected with the Giza Plateau because of the shape of the lion that characterized these two sites. The first is Bucegi in Romania, and the second is Balokanost in Pakistan. Because I believe that where there is a lion, there is a possible megastructures underneath. Because the lion is a kind of indicator. So I believe that these sites could be very interesting to know more about the lost civilization that lived on Earth in the distant past. And maybe under these sites could be other city in the underground.
Did you find anything under the Sphinx?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
yesterday, I also explained what we found under the Sphinx. We have one pillar, and we have one pillar that goes underneath a lot. We have a chamber that is located at the end of the scan. So also here, 1 kilometer below. And between the surface and the bottom, we have another intermediate chamber at the intermediate, And then there are connections to other things, other facilities that for now is like that.
Another site very
There
interesting
is-
is in South Pacific, in Norfolk Island. I'm supporting a team of research that is on the field because we discovered in 2019 megalithic site on the island that seems to be very, very ancient and connected with the sky because they have the same shape. Some sites, megalithic site, that one of them we called the Temple of the Sun because of some characteristics and features of the monument. And it has also a features, the temple, that look like the Gemini constellation. And we made an analysis with the celestial vault according to using the software of astronomical simulation. And we obtain an interesting result that seems to date the site at least 32,000 years ago. There are also many other interesting sites, maybe also a kind of Stone Age in the forest. So it's very, very interesting place that I hope to investigate in the next year.
I forget to ask, sorry about that, but what's your background actually?
My background is an academic background, of course. I'm an historian. I graduated at the University of Naples, the Federico II. That is one of the most ancient in Europe. And I started from my study from the academic field, but studying the Giza Plateau, of course. But when I understood that something in the official hypothesis, in my opinion, are incorrect or doesn't match with the reality, I prefer to move following the alternative research, applying multidisciplinary model of investigation that, as I explained before, are connected with science, so astronomy, mathematics, physics, geology, and so on. And through these patterns, I achieve some interesting results that are helping us to move forward in the detection of Giza and restoring the ancient story of this planet.
Did the ScanPyramids team reached out to you during your research?
I don't know, but I want to say that we are open to the collaboration with all people interested in supporting our investigation. So we are open also to a possible cooperation with the ScanPyramids. As you know, at the Joe Rogan Experience, Zakia was told that he was open to meet us for a discussion on that matter. And we are open to discuss with him too. And I have to say that we can't wait to meet him at the GDX conference in Dubai in November, where we are speakers. Also because the promoter of the conference are preparing a roundtable with them to discuss about our research, of course, of the ScanPyramid.
It's already scheduled.
Yeah, it's already scheduled on 8th and 9th of November.
Nice.
And I have to say that we are very happy to meet him, also because I have a great respect for Zakia Was, that in my opinion made a great job for his country and for history because of the many discoveries he made on the field that help us to better understand the background of the Egyptian dynastic civilization. We have a different opinion on the Giza Plateau, but this is not a limit, but it's of course the base to move and to push can help us to make a step beyond
Even if you
the
have
discovery of the past of our civilization.
even if you have different opinions on things, you can have a
The
constructive
discussion
collaboration.
is very important. Yes, the collaboration is could help us to move forward.
I'm a bit surprised that the ScanPyramids didn't reach out to you, because according to my knowledge, they are pioneering this muon technology to discovering voids.
Yes, the ScanPyramid, they applied the technology that was used for the first time in 1967 by an American physicist, Louis Alvarez, that applied the muon technology to the Khafre pyramid, but with any results also because at that time the technology was at the beginning. So, but in the time, the CERN, for example, of the University of Tokyo, between 2011 and 2013, made other experiments inside the pyramid, particularly in the pyramid of Khafre, and they discovered a possible void at 73 meters over the Berzoni chamber. But they didn't move forward in this kind of exploration, and so all the projects stopped. And now, since 2015, the ScanPyramid is detecting the Cheops pyramid, and now also the Khafre pyramid. And they announced the discovery of a possible big void inside the Great Pyramid.
Above the Grand Gallery, right?
Yes. But after 10 years, we know anything about the structures of the big void. I think that a couple of weeks ago, Zagiawas announced the possible exploration of the big void.
He was talking about new inscriptions they found.
Yes, so in the chamber, in one of the chambers of the jet, that is the structures that are on the king's chambers inside the Great Pyramid. And I was saying, I hope that finally the exploration of the big void starts, because we are very interesting to know more about this environment that the ScanPyramid discovered. I hope this is not another announcement without any consequence.
Do you know why they couldn't find those chambers you found with the muon detector?
In the study that we made on the Cheops pyramid, me and Corrado, we found the big void, and we put in our we allocate in our 3D model that is visible on the paper the big void. There is the big void, and it is on the top of the Grand Gallery. We measured the length, the height, and the width of the big void, and it's written all on the paper.
But they also used their muon technology, but they couldn't find those.
No, they
like the other chambers you found.
I tell you, the muon scan, that I respect that technique and the research group that they are working using the muon scan. So all the ScanPyramid project, and I respect Zagiawas. The problem of the muon scan is this, that you have some plates that you have to arrange where you want to scan. Okay.
Just for the audience, it's like detecting the cosmic particles coming through the
from
megastructure.
The universe to the Earth inside the structures.
Yeah.
The particles are neutrinos, neutres, and so they pass the matter. But passing the matter, they can record if there is a void or something like that.
Like delayed or shifted.
Yes, it's shifted or delayed. And they arrive to the plate. And the plate will record the plot, like a plot. And also there, you live for some time. Those plates, they record the direction of arrival of muons, and also in this case, using a tomographic inversion based on Fourier transform, you can rebuild what there is on the top. Yes, But approximately. But we have a problem that the muon scan cannot detect things that are located underneath, because you have to go physically to install those plates. So they can detect things that are located from the plates to the universe.
But if they placed, I don't know exactly where did they place the plates. When I was in the Cheops pyramid, I've seen those plates in the Queen's chamber.
Queen chamber, yes.
So I assume
Also in the king chambers.
Yeah, so I assume if they place the detectors there, they could find those rooms which you found.
From there to the top.
Yeah, they are above the...
Yes. Usually, in my personal opinion, I am not them. They are performing a scanning. So they detect something on a position. Then they move the plates on another position, and regularly they are observing regularly at different locations. So to try and find something that can be that can recast into the so-called big void. Yes. Also, the muon scan, the ScanPyramid, said that there is a big void located on the top of the Grand Gallery, but they don't know exactly the position and the orientation of this big void.
Okay. Because the plates were always moving and shifting around. I would assume they can calculate the location based on the plate's position, but
in my personal opinion, they do several measurements, so that means you need a lot of time, because to perform the tomographic inversion, you have to be compliant always to the sampling theorem.
Yeah, exactly.
So you need a lot of time and a lot of measurements, because you have to comply the sampling theorem. Because then you have to perform their tomographic inversion to see what there is from the plates to the top. We do something different. We watch things from the surface underneath, and in my personal opinion, is more efficient.
What is your estimated limit of depth? You can...
The Doppler frequencies, the Doppler bandwidth.
If you are talking about numbers or meters, for example, like 1 kilometer, or what's the maximum?
In my personal opinion, the maximum is 5 kilometers.
5 kilometers.
Yes.
Okay.
I tell you something that I have in my mind.
Okay.
And this is a personal conversation that I can send to the owners of the satellite systems. If we are able to build a satellite tailored with my technique, we can go also deeper a lot.
Twice?
Oh, yes, also 3 times more. It is necessary, I can tell you, it is not a secret. It is necessary to raise the frequency of the radar from the X band to the Ka band, according to the transparency window of the atmosphere. But you can do it. So you move from the X band to the Ka or Ku or Ka band. So you have more Doppler bandwidth, and then you can also enlarge the starring effect of your spotlight, bringing maybe 30 seconds of integration time. You can do it, and then the third thing that it is necessary to do is to perform SAR acquisition perfectly, that has not sense in SAR, perfectly vertical. That has not sense in SAR. So who is expert of SAR is now laughing, I know. But doing like that, you will be very sensible with my technique.
Okay. And are you planning on building your own system?
I am, yes. If I find somebody that can, who I can work together, maybe he can.
Elon Musk, maybe?
Elon, you are my mate, no? If he wants to contact me, I am always with him. Because
maybe we can move to Mars.
We can move to Mars.
Or Joe Rogan. I think
Joe Rogan.
He would. Very invited to the Joe Rogan podcast so far.
I think no.
Because he talked about you.
I don't check my email a lot of.
Regularly
because
I know that.
Yes, I am a bit old style, I have the passion of hi-fi systems, valves hi-fi systems. I am a bit old style, vinyls like that. So I am not checking regularly my email. But if he wants, any Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, if they want, they can also phone me. Maybe it's better. Or send me an email, but I have to check the email regularly.
On this project, you're working alone. I mean, you are financing this research, or is there a university behind you, or? We
are doing everything with our expense.
Yeah. So you are financing your own work. Yeah. That can be tough.
Very.
That can be tough. Are you planning on creating any association for this research, or?
We are planning to have to build up a foundation, maybe to receive donations from the people. Yes. Personally, I am closing some pending situation that I have personally in order to move together with Corrado, with Armando and Nicole Ciccolo, that she is the YouTuber, let's say, of our research group, to build up a foundation.
Okay, so you're planning on this on full time?
Yes.
Nice. Thank you for this conversation. It was very amazing and interesting to hear about this in person, because I've read a lot of things about this research, and it was actually, there are a lot of confusions on the internet, and I couldn't find the right information or source of information for the questions.
Yes, the confusion came from people who don't understand how the techniques works, because the experts of SAR, for example, don't say anything until now. Have never discussed our technology. So the confusion came from debunkers that didn't know anything. They don't know anything about SAR technology and Doppler tomography.
Yeah, and also, I don't know, I've seen I don't remember the name of the channel. There was a physicist woman.
Yes.
Who was
Sabine.
Exactly.
Yes.
Sabine.
What did you think about that video?
My indicator is she made the indicator bullshit indicator. It is what I can say.
She misunderstood it, or she doesn't even
I don't know.
Understand.
It is a pity, because maybe she should call me. No, we should discuss together the thing, without doing those. In my personal opinion, with the education that my parents gave me, I would never make something like that. Never. Because of my education that gave me my parents, that now they are dead both. No, I never. It is unrespectable. I am very polite, so I went to a lawyer. We want to take her to the court.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We are now...
Here and some other...
no, Google. Google
yes.
that is the editor of that. Of that.
I don't want to cite them because I don't
We have
want
already
to
injured Google because it is the editor of YouTube, and YouTube is the editor of Sabine.
Aha, you mean the sponsor?
Yes, the editor. They are on the server of Google, no? We injured Google.
Yeah.
Then Google makes with Sabine, I don't know what, but we are, because of Sabine, we are injuring Google.
Really?
Yes.
Did she make a huge effect on your fame?
I have my parents that gave me an education, and I could never say something, a bullshit indicator on her. I don't know.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
It is not
I
good.
understand you, yeah. Well, YouTube is a free platform, I guess. Sometimes.
My lawyer is asking €3 every visualization on her video. 1.6 millions make you. Who pays this?
Nice.
funding for the research.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
I think that she will finance our research, no?
She's not the only one.
No?
There are some
Probably
other,
not. Probably not.
Yes, in the list.
Thank you again,
Thank you.
and I wish you all the best for the future. And I hope maybe we can keep touch regarding the PyTorch. And
Yes, absolutely.
if you have any questions, let me
Yes.
know.
Okay.
I will try to help.
We will speak about the Fourier transform on GPU.
Okay.
Hmm?
Okay. Probably it's challenging, but I don't think
It's
it's
challenging.
I don't think
tell
it's
you that
impossible.
it's challenging.
I don't think it's impossible, but we will see.
Thanks.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. You enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was very nice. A massive thank you to my incredible supporters: Oniko, Anton Hanzelik, Dave Varabiov, Johannes Meyer, Lutz Hake, Uncle Chucky, Sarah Cox, C. Barrick, and Vasana. Your generosity fuels this journey into ancient technology, keeping this show alive and pushing my research further than ever. As the ancient Egyptians would say, Ankh Veja Seneb,